Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we look at an article in The Independent that shamefully, in my opinion, deflects an actual threat, Islamist terrorism, for an anti-English hate piece. And I'll explain why later on in the article. Now, this piece is saying that youngsters are being groomed by the far right. Yep, grooming. They did actually say that. Well, I guess the cops all know about grooming. They've been allowing actual grooming across the country for decades. Cheeky swamp pigs. Dirty cops are scum in my opinion, and while not one of you sees justice, you're all dirty. But I digress. Now at this point I'm thinking the media's use of far right is newspeak. And yes, that is a reference to 1984. And what it actually means is working class English. Think I'm wrong? Let me know. If you read between the lines on this article, everyone, you'll see exactly what's going on here in my opinion. But let's read. It's titled, Lurgy, Terror Threat to Hospitals as Extremists Call for Attacks During Lockdown. Exclusive. Security advice issued to hospitals amid concerned lockdown could cause rising online radicalisation. Terrorists are calling for attacks on UK hospitals and other vulnerable places during the Lurgy outbreak, a senior police officer has revealed. So we know which sort of terrorists then, don't we, if they're going after soft targets. Protective security advice is being distributed to the NHS Trust by counter-terror officers amid warnings that extremists are exploiting the pandemic to radicalise new recruits. Well, if you know that these people being radicalised, why are you not arresting them? Just a thought. The National Coordinator for the Prevent Counter-Extremism Programme told The Independent that ISIS supporters were encouraging people to target the places that appear most vulnerable. These people are disgusting in my opinion. Chief Superintendent Nick Adams said jihadis were calling for attacks during lockdown in the hope that police and security services would be distracted and overwhelmed. We're seeing the exploitation of the circumstances to encourage acts of violence, he added. So we've got basically the ISIS putting out propaganda to say that they should be attacking our hospitals. Now, how is that going to be possible without them having jihadis in the country? Oh, that's right, yeah, we've got 25,000 of them that they know about walking the streets, haven't we? Great use this of police services, isn't it? They'll hide things and not do the job. Whoop-de-doo, let's sack them all. If any police officers are watching, how dare you not do something about the corruption right through your service? You're a disgrace. But I'll carry on. The reality is we're very prepared for any such eventuality and monitoring any literature being disseminated around the world. Well, why aren't you doing something about it then? We are working closely with colleagues across the Five Eyes countries, with academics and community advisory networks. Okay, we all know who they are, don't we? To monitor how that information is playing out and making sure that protective security advice is being adapted for the places that might be considered more vulnerable now. Everywhere's vulnerable to these cretins. ISIS had inspired attacks around the world by calling for supporters to launch massacres on soft targets. Massacres, including tourist attractions and transport hubs. But with lockdown measures in force, hospitals have become some of the most crowded places in the country, while previous targets are deserted. Security advice drawn up by the National Counter-Terrorism Security Office is routinely given to large venues, places of worship and other places that draw crowds. Can I just ask at this point, does anyone remember any police officers outside churches or synagogues? Because I can't. Hospitals have been attacked by terrorists and armed groups in several countries, such as the ISIS-claimed massacre at a military hospital in Kabul in 2017. Such attacks normally occur during ongoing conflicts. We are looking for evidence of people mobilising towards violence. You've just said, you fool, that you know that they've been passing out propaganda. So why are you not doing something about that? Oh, that's right, they've got to do something first, haven't they? Of course, yeah, because then you can go and get them after they've blown themselves up and 20 children. Just a thought. Maybe you should do it before. And taking on some of those narratives that are coming out of ISIS propaganda, Chief Superintendent Adams said. Chief Superintendent Adams, you're a moron. He raised concerns that Lurgy conspiracy theories were being used as a hook by extremist groups to draw in new recruits. The closure of schools, rising unemployment and extended lockdown measures mean that more people are spending time online. And here we have the rub, guys. Here we have the rub. This is what this whole article is about. It's got nothing to do with ISIS. Well, it has, but they're just using that as another excuse to attack. Are you ready? Chief Superintendent Adams said false claims linking 5G technology to the spread of Lurgy were being monitored very closely by counter-terrorist police. 5G technology conspiracy theories. Can we not see an issue here? We've got actual terrorists looking to commit massacres, and then they're talking mainly about people discussing 5G technology and whether it's healthy for us or not. You want to know why? Because we're the easy touch, aren't we? The ones that are talking about normal stuff, you know, the stuff that's actually country related. Oh no, that's extreme. It's being pushed out by extreme right-wing groups as a hook to get people onto chat forums where they can talk about other hate-related conspiracy theories and draw people into their narratives, he added. Now, have you seen already, they've switched it already from the actual threat, which is ISIS, obviously. They're talking about massacres in hospitals, to people talking online. See the difference? See the difference? I can. You can. Cops don't want to, do they? From that, they can pick up those individuals who are most vulnerable. Jesus, Independent. Your editorial staff are getting an easy ride, aren't they? Individuals are most vulnerable to encourage them, radicalise them, and take them towards terrorism. What terrorism comes from the far right? Just wondering, what exact terrorism has come from the far right? Are you meaning naughty words? I think you are, aren't you? It's easy to punish naughty words, isn't it? It's difficult to go and get the groomers, the actual groomers, and the terrorists. Oh no, we can't do that though, can we? Police are concerned about people made more vulnerable by mental health issues and other factors in their lives who have seen contact with teachers, psychologists, social workers and substance abuse services fall away during the lockdown. So, children who have parents, psychologists, nut jobs, social workers, are they really someone that making someone more vulnerable if you didn't see social workers? I don't think they are with what we've heard of in the recent exposés, have we? Social workers. You're part of the problem. We're becoming more concerned not just about young people spending time online, but the impact of isolation and the changing risk picture. So it's what aboutery, isn't it? ISIS are saying they're going to blow people up, but what about them over there? They're talking naughty words. We've got to watch them. Keep your eyes on them over there. Don't worry about them. Get on. Well, look at them. Look. They're talking about 5G. See what I mean? My fear is that people have got more opportunity to listen to the media and then realise that they can go and find out the information for themselves and totally discredit everything that was just said. Now, that's not what he said at all. To spend more time in closed echo chambers and online chat forums that reinforce the false narrative, hatred, fear and confusion that could have a radicalising effect. And here we have the rub. The police and the media want to shut down our ability to talk to others online. Why? Because they are losing their grip on the country because of it. Not because of false narratives or hatred or fear or confusion or radicalising effects. Just because we can now see them for the lying beeps that they actually are. Am I wrong? In the short term, there is a lack of statutory services to spot those changes and intervene to protect people. Referrals to prevent over radicalisation fears have fallen since the start of lockdown, and the senior officer said he fears it means people aren't seeing some of the behavioural changes and they're not reaching out for help. So in other words, you're not grassing them up enough because we can't do our jobs to find them. Oh no, they've only got to look at a list, obviously, but we can't find them. We need you to grass them up to us first. What is the point in having a police force if they don't do the investigations for themselves? That you need to tell them everything first. Pointless, aren't they? Is this not pointless? Chief Superintendent Adams added, "We are still effectively supporting the people we know about who are vulnerable to radicalisation." Supporting the vulnerable to radicalisation, which means they are radical. Does it not? Vulnerable to radicalisation. They're looking to support them. No, if they're looking like they're going to radicalisation, you arrest them. But the challenge is all those people out there who we don't currently know about because of all those protections that are not in place. So they want to watch everybody and everything. Authoritarianism is coming, guys. The tyranny is on its way, if this article's anything to go by. Of more than 5,700 people who were referred to Prevent in 2018-19, the largest group, 38%, were individuals with a mixed, unstable or unclear ideology, followed by suspected Islamists and far-right extremists on 24% each. They think there are 26,000 far-right extremists in this country. Are they bloody kidding me? Where's the evidence? There isn't any, is there? This is just hate speech, isn't it? Certain words in a certain order, isn't it? The largest group, age group, was children and young people aged 20 20 and under. That's because the young have had enough of the PC bullshit that everyone's pumping out and this woke crap. That's got nothing to do with them being far-right extremists, has it? That's just young people going, I can't be doing with this crap anymore. So they're attacking children as well next. And a third of referrals were from education workers. So the teachers are grassing your children up, guys. The teachers are putting your children forward to counter-terrorist police teachers who are bound to raise concerns formally under the controversial Prevent duty. The government announced an independent review of the programme in January 2019, so I'm actually suspecting that that's probably why there's 24% far-right extremists. Is this 24% children that have said something in school and the teachers immediately grassed them up? Homeschooling's looking very appealing at the moment. The government announced an independent review of the programme in January 2019, but it's been hit by controversy that saw the lead reviewer step down amid a legal challenge. Only 4% of people were flagged to Prevent last year by their friends and family or community members. I'm not surprised, and Chief Superintendent Adams appealed for support. Well, let me just say, terrorists' families are not going to grass them up, are they? Just saying. See, this is the problem, isn't it? They're looking for people to do their job for them again, the police. Do our job for us because we're incapable. Well, I'm sorry, but maybe you should need to get rid of the coppers that are unable to be cop. You understand what I'm saying by that? If coppers are incapable of catching these people before they cause a problem, I'm not talking far right because I have a suspicion that just means working class English. Am I wrong? But everyone else, 26,000 jihadis, known jihadis in the country, and we know jihadis hate the West, but we're letting them walk the streets. I don't understand that logic, other than the police need evidence. Well, how do you find evidence of a terrorist? I mean, very few of them will be caught before, won't they? See, this is the issue I have, to be honest. But the thing is, calling for the police to have more powers to arrest even before a crime is a dangerous slope. So I'm having a few moral issues with this one, to be honest. Now, what are my thoughts? Well, I'm fuming that to even mention Islamist terror threats without instant whataboutery is proof of intent from a top cop to still deflect and protect terrorists, in my opinion. I also think that the media are loving the threat because then they can stop their biggest threat. And to the media, ISIS is not their biggest threat, it's us. Independent creators like me, I know I'm not big, but there are plenty of independent creators out there that are speaking up. The working class English, formerly known as the working class English, now known as far right, for not being sheep anymore, because we've had our eyes opened, haven't we, everyone? They are looking for more cancellation on the internet, so they can force control by themselves again. Remove ability to call them out on the lies. The media are the threat to us. The government are terrified of the media, because the media can direct hate mobs at them, and the cops will hide anything the media tell them to. But let me know what you lot think. Do you think the same? Do you think this is just a shameful deflection onto a non-existent threat to hide the fact that we've got a very dangerous and very real threat in ISIS? Because I actually do. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, share it out, and I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Stay safe.